From the infectious rhythms, uplifting melodies and glorious sunsets of Ibiza and Dubai to the sunshine seaside home of the Seagulls, it's party time for Liverpool's slot machine. But Brighton have worked out an algorithm, funnily enough, where they can join in the fun. Finish 8th, hope Forest, Villa, City and Newcastle all win at the weekend, and remix the table so that Maresca's side finish 7th, and then go all in on Chelsea winning the Conference League. And you know what? They might just make a return to a European destination near you. Yes, Brighton fans, after the last few years, you would find yourself supporting Chelsea at some point this season. They do make 2 changes from their victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Verbruggen is the goalkeeper, Vifa Van Hecke, Webster and Estepinian are the back 4. In midfield it's Baliba and Ayari, then Minte, Gruder, Welbeck and Adingra as an attacking foursome, which Welbeck will lead. What about Liverpool? Well, Alisson is their goalkeeper. The back 4 is Bradley, Konate, Quansah and Tsimikas. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Elliott on the midfield trio, with Salah, Chiesa and Gakpo going forward. Troy Deeney is here. We've seen the power of having something to play for, and Brighton do, with Liverpool having spent most of the week dancing in Café Del Mar and a few other places. Are the Seagulls favourites to drop in a top performance and take 3 points?
You would expect so, yeah. I think when you look at what this Liverpool team's been doing, obviously been fantastic throughout the course of the season, but they deserve to enjoy a few days off with a bit of a longer weekend. So the changes would suggest that the manager is looking at new players for next year. How does the likes of Bradley fit into this? Can Tsimikas really drive it forward, and Harvey Elliott as well? So I just expect this Liverpool team to come out and try and stay with them as long as possible and keep going. I do think for Brighton, though, with what they're doing and what the players that they have, the likes of Verbruggen, Van Hecke, these tough players who have been excellent all season. Adrian talked about it just earlier on. I would expect for these guys to be going, right, opportunity here now. The likes of Welbeck up front going, right, I scored 10 goals. Can I get more? And can we continue this run that we're on and take that into not only the end of this season, but for next season?
Referee tonight is John Brooks. The VAR is Andy Madley. This is Talk Sport, the home of the European finals. All 4 are live on the network. We're in Bilbao already. Crook has landed just in the last hour or so. Saturday, Arsenal in the Women's Champions League final. The Conference League final is next Wednesday from Wroclaw, and the Champions League final follows that on the last weekend in May. But tonight, the Seagulls are hoping they can still take flight next season. They take on the champions live and only on Talk Sport. Terrific atmosphere. Sussex by the sea. Liverpool in red, attacking the goal away to our left. The blue and white striped jerseys of Brighton and Hove Albion, blue shorts, white socks, attacking the goal away to our right in the first half. And John Brooks, who is not the referee. We've got Andy Madley in the middle of the park, so the information they gave us earlier was wrong, and it's a late change to the officials. Andy Madley taking charge tonight, and that means that he's had a bit of a busy weekend, because he was 4th official yesterday in Arsenal against Newcastle. Here is Alisson deep inside his own 18-yard box, and away to our right in front of a vociferous Liverpool crowd who have already displayed their banners telling everybody that they are champions again. And it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool start this game, having had their feet up for the last couple of days or so. Here is a ball through the lines that's found its way to Szoboszlai, out towards the left-hand side, collected now by Gakpo, who runs up towards the edge of the box, gets it onto his right foot, a lovely curling shot towards the far post, which is beaten for Verbruggen, but also beat the outside of the post, and inside a minute Liverpool's shown their teeth.
You're talking about the type of start. That's unbelievable football from the back through to Alisson into Gravenberch. He gets it on the half turn, and as he throws the ball into Harvey Elliott, he does a lovely little over into Szoboszlai. They break the pressure, now they're getting at that back line. Plays it out to Gakpo, cuts it on that right foot, could have went down, actually stayed up, possibly would have got a penalty if it had went down, but just fired that ball. Lovely shape into that far corner, unfortunately just the wrong side of the post. But 1 minute in, and Liverpool showing that it doesn't matter if they're in Dubai Ibiza or down at Brighton. It's a good time for them.
TalkSport. Here is Verbruggen on the edge of his own penalty area, playing the ball into Webster. Webster gets it back to Verbruggen, and now here's the blonde hair of John Paul van Hecke turning away from Chiesa, who is playing as the front man today in front of the Liverpool formation. Elliott just behind him, and Gakpo on the left and Salah on the right. And just having a look at the formation for Brighton and Hove Albion, it is as we expected, with Gruder playing just behind the lead man Welbeck, with Minte on the right, and on the left hand side Simon Adingra. He hasn't scored in 2025, Simon Adingra. Ball back to Adam Webster, who is making his 19th appearance of the season, missed 3 months with a hamstring injury, slowing the play down. No press from Liverpool, they just back off a little bit, and he's allowed to wander forward and then play the ball out towards the left. But it was a poor pass which Salah then cut out and then turned it over, won by Elliott on halfway and swept out to the right side, where Salah continues the attack. And they have to intervene through Purvis Estepinian to poke it away, and that was a little bit sloppy from Webster.
Yeah, and weirdly, that high line in Liverpool was there. There was only 3 cuts of grass, so what's that, 18 yards? You just needed one of the wide players, Adingra or Minte, just to run without the ball. It would have been a little flick over and a foot race. I think without Virgil van Dijk in there, this Liverpool line, he's trying to play high, trying to play aggressive, but I don't think the communication's right there. Something that need to look out for just moving forward, because Brighton could just flip that over the top there, and I'd expect Webster to do that, because I just saw Hertzer just out in front of us, kind of initiating with his hands, shape it over the top.
3 minutes gone, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Live on TalkSport tonight. Here's Gakpo tight the touchline on this near touchline. Tsimikas forward to Szoboszlai. Here pinned back by a little band. Growing it very long now is Dominic Szoboszlai. Turns it round the corner for Konate, and he then spreads the attack to the wide right position, where Mo Salah picks it up, plays it back to halfway. Now into Harvey Elliott and across to Tsimikas. Tsimikas, who hasn't scored for anyone in 7 years. How he would love to score for Liverpool. He did score the winning penalty in an FA Cup final, so I'm sure he's not too bothered. Back into Gravenberch, midway point of the Brighton half, out towards the right hand side again. Salah comes forward, tries to manoeuvre the ball in towards the path of Szoboszlai. Tap back to Elliott. Elliott looks up, flips it down the inside right channel, tucked away by Webster, the tall central defender, retreating into his own box, and it's cleared out towards the far touchline once again. Still at the Amex, the sun shining brightly, just setting away to our left hand side, and that's got a little bit of sunshine in the eyes of the Liverpool fans away to our right hand side. Certainly there was more than that in the challenge from Ayari right in the middle of the park on Elliott, and that's going to generate a free kick to Liverpool 10 yards outside the box.
Yeah, really good play from Liverpool. No ill effects of being away. Clearly looks like they're focused and they're playing with some real intensity. The passing's really crisp. Brighton need to step it up a little bit disjointed in their formation defensively as well. Welbeck's a bit isolated, so no out ball when they try and get out upon this Liverpool press.
First set piece of the game, and the Brighton set piece coach is right out on the technical area in 3/4 length trousers. He looks like he could have been in Dubai or Ibiza this week. The ball into the box goes right the way through the 6-yard box and out and away for a goal kick away to our left.
Do you reckon he'll get a mural outside, or they just kept a clean sheet for that one cross?
I know that Adrian's a massive fan of that sort of homage being paid to set-piece coaches. Ball played out towards the right-hand side, and again, Brighton just give it away rather cheaply. And like Arne Slot was saying that his Liverpool players deserve their celebratory late-season trip to Dubai, vowing that they would be well prepared. They certainly look as if they have been. Whereas it looks like as if Brighton have been out on the sauce for the last couple of days. They've just sort of, I don't know, just started rather sluggishly, I think. Yeah,
it's come from the goalkeeper and the two centre-backs. They've got a lot of time on the ball. And Liverpool are trying to do the press where they come from the wide areas, force you to play in the middle, and then it's making you play a risky pass if you want to lift it over the top. We saw Webster get cut out by Salah, and then this time Van Hecke has tried to play one down the line. He's bobbled it in. It's not crisp at all. When Liverpool look like the team that are actually trying to prove a point here and be ready for next year, as well as obviously doing what they should do, which is celebrating.
Well, since clinching the title, Liverpool have only taken 1 point of the last 6 on offer, but it's been won back here over on the far side. Belieber strongly runs through the centre circle, gives it back to Jean-Paul van Hecke. And then it's turned around the corner by Yari, but again it's just a little bit disjointed, given away. Vifa manages to dive in, win the ball. Now picked up by Welbeck, who stumbles but recovers possession. Does well to go beyond Harvey Elliott. Pops it back into midfield and Ayari. Ayari looks forward now. Went to play the ball forward, decided to go backwards to Van Hecker, but that's another poor ball to Vifa. Puts him in trouble. It goes out of play and it's away for a throw. And they just haven't settled, Brian.
No, and just showed a little bit of quality there from Belieber. He actually looks like somebody who's thinking, I could put myself in the shot window here with this Liverpool team, because he's got nastily into a couple of tackles there and then showed a little bit of quality, dropped the shoulder, sent Harvey Elliott to the shop and turned out the other way. He was looking to play Minter, who'd already made a really strange run just across the line when there was no pressure on the ball.
He's running now in behind and trying to get on the right hand side. He gets to the edge of the Peltier, takes it out of the sky well, faces up. Simicast plays a low ball in towards the box and it goes through Danny Welbeck. I didn't know whether even it went through his legs or just beyond him, but he certainly was favourite to get hold of that ball instead of Konate. Picked up by Gruder, who gets into the box. On his left foot, goes down under a challenge from Gravenberch, then looks at Andy Madley. Darren England, the VAR, will look at that. Liverpool switched the play and on a fast break down the right hand side and found Salah, who's got into the Peltier onto his left foot. Shot on target, but straight into the arms of Bart Verbruggen, who just drops to his left hand side. And still Fabian Herzler is asking for a penalty kick.
No, yellow card actually. In real time it looked like it was a touch. He gets the slightest of nicks from Gravenberch on his knee, takes an extra step, then throws himself down.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, he should, to be fair, if VAR are looking at it, make sure he gets a yellow card, because that's embarrassing.
Yeah, well, they're not allowed to interfere with that, but sometimes information is passed on. You're happy now, aren't you?
If anyone would know, you would, wouldn't they?
You did that on purpose. You knew that, but you wanted me to say it. You've lulled me into a trap. I knew it.
But just on that though, Sam, you saw there how simple it is for this Brighton team, because Liverpool are trying to play a really high line and obviously don't have Virgil van Dijk in there to orchestrate when to go high and when to drop. Just a little flick over the top, and Minter was in a foot race with Simicast and he got at that back line very, very easily.
He did. Brighton have started to enjoy their matches with Liverpool, but they haven't started to enjoy this game, and it's a lovely bit of skill down the right hand side, ball played into the near post and Elliott is there. Connor Bradley, a brilliant run down the right hand side, a lovely bit of skill to take him to the byline. He's pulled it back to the edge of the 6-yard box. Elliott is there. On the night we said that Connor Bradley had to have a really big game, he's turned up and constructed the opening goal. Brighton 0, Liverpool 1.
This is all about Connor Bradley. We spoke about him in the build-up, about maybe he has to offer a little bit more going forward, but it's a lovely ball from Sabazzo. Wonderful diag. What's that, 60-70 yards. First time touch from Salah, puts Connor Bradley down the inside channel. It's a lovely little nutmeg on Adingra. Then for some reason Webster just throws himself to the right. He carries on running, gets to the byline 5-6 yards out and just rolls a lovely ball into Harvey Elliott with an empty net. Says, go on son, roll that into the goal. Really good play. Well done Liverpool. 1-0. Who said they were taking a bit of time off? Was that Aid, was it?
Connor Bradley, 21 years of age, contender to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. He knows he's got competition coming in Jeremy Frimpong, but he is certainly someone who is well regarded by the Liverpool fans away to our right hand side, and they're just making that clear.
Yeah, really, really important that they're singing there's only one Connor Bradley as well, even though Harvey Elliott scored. It's a goal all built out of his hard work. Wonderful play. We haven't really spoken too much about Harvey Elliott as well. Maybe somebody that's looking at, oh my god.
Ball forward towards Belieber again, and this time he's done well in the initial phase, but then couldn't come up with a pass to release Minter in behind. He's given it straight back to Liverpool. And there's goals in this game though, Troy.
Yeah, absolutely, but Belieber there just showed the pace and power, just took it off the back four. There was a nice little space for Liverpool setting the trap, and he just ran through 4 players. Unfortunately couldn't just get that final pass to Minter.
Ball worked out wide to Adingra now, who's darting towards the left edge of the area. Right footed shot, takes a deflection, lands on the roof of the net. Just spooned up off Bradley, who did enough to block it. It went up into the air and landed beyond Alisson and onto the roof of the net, but there was a moment there where the Brazilian started to panic, and Simon Adingra, who hasn't scored in 2025, came mightily close there.
Yeah, wonderful play. Good defending from Connor Bradley, but you're seeing now just how simple it can be for Brighton. If they switch the play and get that long ball into action early doors, you can get a 1v1 in the wide areas, which is a strong suit for them. But really good defending from Connor Bradley.
Brian Gruder's going to take the corner kick from this near side. It's aiming towards the far post, and Van Hecker was coming towards it. It's hit by Purvis Estepinian, but he sort of leant back as he tried to hit that. Didn't connect it at all well, and it went spooning over the top and away for a goal kick. Just needed to let that one settle a little bit.
It's a great start though, isn't it, Sam? What, 11, 12 minutes into the game? End-to-end stuff. It feels like we've got quite a lot of goals coming in this game, and both teams are playing some wonderful stuff, but all attacking focus, trying to get as many goals as they can. So don't want to commentate as curse it, but looks like we could be in for a great game.
Well, I think we expected goals because of the records of both these two teams. Here's Gruder sending it out wide onto Minte, edge of the area, trying to take on Simicast, who stands up strong. Vifa into the penalty area, again it comes through in between Welbeck and Adingra, and it just didn't quite fall for either of them and slides through the box.
I think Welbs missed that one. The one you said earlier, I think, was played just a little bit behind him, and he couldn't readjust his body, but that one...
Here come Liverpool over on the far side. It is end-to-end, and Elliott has sent away Salah, who in turn has found Chiesa onto Elliott again. Tried to leave that for Szoboszlai, but Vifa read it, nipped in and took over, and then sent Minte away down the right-hand side, and Vifa's made a wonderful run on the inside right channel. Vifa pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area. Again, it's behind everybody, and it's cleared away by the retreating Conor Bradley, and it's out toward this near side. What a fabulous start to the game. 13 minutes played, Brighton 0, Liverpool 1. It's been completely end-to-end. It's like a basketball match.
Yeah, it's wonderful position from Conor Bradley there. Could have been very easy to get sucked in and try and defend Danny Welbeck, but he held the position between the two, so when it was cut back, he was the first to react there. Adingra probably should have come onto it a bit quicker, but Conor Bradley in a great position yet again.
Here's Minte again down the right-hand side into the penalty area, left-footed cross, headed behind by Quansah, and it's out for a corner kick to Brighton and Hove Albion. There's not even a second for you to breathe before someone mounts another attack.
It's really crazy end-to-end stuff. A lot of turnovers in possession from Liverpool especially, but that ball over the top, you're going to see this all day. Adingra and Minte 1v1 against Bradley and Simicast. At the moment they're both defending well for Liverpool. As you know, as a striker though, Sam, you only need to get one right and then you can cause trouble.
Vifa on this near touchline again. A left-footed ball which is a little bit short for Ayari, who works really hard to get there ahead of Salah. Slides in, wins it back. Estepinian almost looks as if he was teeing up a shot, but then went wide left towards Adingra, who's got a cross in towards the near post, and Allison drops on it this time and grabs it before it can reach. Minte was coming in at the back post. Gruder was in there too, and Welbeck had made a run towards the near post, but it was too far in front of him. So a lively start to the game. 1-0 to Liverpool. This is Talk Sport. Brighton's home form has actually been pretty solid. Defeat to Aston Villa in April was the only one that they've suffered in their last 7 home matches. I think when they do that season review, that December period will certainly come into sharp focus. They'll look at the points dropped then and in April as costly moments. They're one of very few teams actually that have failed to beat Leicester this season. And drawing with Southampton doesn't go down well with anyone at this stage of the season. We played 15 minutes. You're listening to Talk Sport. Here is Vifa getting it back to his goalkeeper and Verbruggen. Verbruggen holding it on the edge of the area, wearing his black goalkeeping outfit tonight. Plays it left to Webster. Webster into Belieber, the muscular and intelligent midfield player who just stands in front of that back line and screens and almost acts like a deep line playmaker as well. He's got the ability to run with the ball and cause problems. Here's Vifa, who's getting forward and involved from right back. Poor ball forward, cut out by Gravenberg, and it's cleared away by Allison. Well, he didn't do particularly well with that. It was an outside of the right foot clearance which landed on the head of Belieber, and now it's found its way to Brighton's Adingra, whose right-footed cross into the box is steered clear by Quansah. Belieber's won another header, and it's won by Estepinian. Ayari turns it over. Brighton's starting to find a bit of rhythm here, and Minte turns and runs at Simicast, gets into the area, left-footed curler towards the far post. There's a little nudge on Ayari, who was joining the attack, but it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, really good defending again from Conor Bradley at the back post, but just getting the feeling, Sam, that when Brighton go forward, it's more in hope than a deliberate pattern of play or deliberate striker they're trying to find. At this moment in time, it's a lot of going wide and aimlessly crossing the ball in, not trying to find anybody. If they can get that little part of the game right, they'll score an awful lot more goals, but everything else is fantastic. Belieber's been in there pulling the strings. Ayara's getting on the ball a lot more now. Just need a little bit more quality in those wide areas.
Well, if you weren't convinced about his quality, I think after the opening sort of, how long have we done? 16, 17 minutes, you'd be a believer now, wouldn't you?
You've had that one in the car, haven't you? You've been waiting for that one.
51% ball position for Liverpool. Expected goals 66. 3 shots already from Liverpool, 2 on target. 2 shots for Brighton. Not one has reached the target as of yet. You're listening to Brighton 0, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Brighton versus Liverpool live right now. Search Now Sports. Fabian Herzler with a wry smile on his face as he watches his team build up from the back again. Oh, that's a late challenge by Chiesa from behind on Carlos Baleba. And free kick given by Andy Madley. No yellow card, which I'm a little bit surprised about.
Yeah, it's a poor one from Chiesa. He's trying to get back at Baleba. Baleba just puts his right leg across. It's probably the right call to not give a yellow card. But you know, if this was earlier on in the season, with a bit more on it, that would 100% been a yellow card.
Van Hecker into Baleba, who's on the edge of the centre circle, gives it back to Ayari, and he finds Webster, and Brighton go back to Bart Verbruggen, the Dutch goalkeeper. I think he's a top goalkeeper as well, Bart Verbruggen. He scored an own goal in the 2-1 FA Cup 4th round win against Chelsea, but he has the odd lapse in concentration, but he makes some top saves as well. Certainly Jack Stern, who is the goalkeeping coach, thinks he has got the potential to be an absolute world beater.
Chelsea probably buy him then, wouldn't they? You lot love a goalie.
Here's Welbeck. On to Gruder. Gruder trying to get the wrong side of Tsimikas. He does well to use his body and just shepherd the ball towards the near corner, but Gruder did well to keep it in, and now Minte into the penalty area, goes beyond the defender Szoboszlai, and then regathers his feet and comes back out to fight for the ball and ends up slipping over and dragging down Gravenberg, who knew exactly what he was doing, waiting for the contact. Free kick, left full-back position.
How good has he been this year?
Exquisite, in fact.
The transformation again from Minte, gets into the box, weirdly comes back, but as soon as Gravenberg clears it up, he's got 2 round him, just a lovely little back drag and takes the contact, wins the foul. But I think he's been, in my opinion, most improved player for Liverpool.
Well, the other thing is he's still got a load of headroom because he's 23. He's only celebrated his 23rd birthday on Friday. Didn't really nail down a role in the team last year, but he certainly has now.
He's a good specimen as well, isn't he? He's 6'1", 6'2", just in front of us now. Can get around the pitch, wonderful feet. If anything, you'd probably say, can he get a few more goals into his game, maybe?
He hasn't scored any at all this season. His last goal was against Fulham last April. And he's got good pedigree though, because he's 23, but he's already played for Bayern Munich and Ajax, so he knows what it's like to be at a big club.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you're nitpicking, aren't you, when you say, can he get some goals? His job's a holding midfielder.
You were, actually.
Yeah, well, of course, because that's what I do. I always want the best out of you as well, mate, but it's one of those things.
The driving force behind TalkSport, Troy Deenan. Driving standards through the roof. No wonder we've got 3.9 million listeners nowadays. Here is Szoboszlai, deep inside his own half, clipping the ball out towards the right side. It's taken in by Kanate, and then Tinkerer just sort of took his legs away. That's going to be a free kick over on the far side. Goals usually the order of the day for Liverpool when it comes to their final away days of the season. Their previous 2 final away matches in the league have seen 14 goals scored in total. A 4-4 draw with Southampton 2 seasons ago, and last year Aston Villa away 3-3. So we could be in for a bit of entertainment tonight. In fact, we've already had some entertainment in the opening 20 minutes. And here's Conor Bradley, who made the opening goal, steaming down the right-hand side once again, getting a return pass from Salah. Didn't quite come off, and it went out of play off the defender, and it's out for a throw. But he's thrown it in quickly to Bradley. He's made another run on the byline. He tries to pull it back. Good tackle by Webster. Takes a nick off the Northern Irishman on the way through and goes out for a goal kick away to our left.
Just watching Herzler just down in front of us, he's really frustrated. You touched on it earlier, Sam. Brighton have been off the pace mentally for the first 20 minutes of this game. Again, getting caught by a quick throw-in into the box. Conor Bradley's on the byline there. And if it's not for the last-ditch tackle, I think it was Estepina and Webster, he's rolling it across the line for Chiesa to score again in exactly the same way that they scored the first goal. And then even there, Verbruggen just kicks it straight off the pitch. It's a really sloppy start. Maybe they thought mentally Liverpool wouldn't be at it, and it's going to be one of those games where it's a bit of a jolly up, to be honest. But Liverpool have come with professionalism, and Brighton really need to step it up. The manager's literally out of his technical area right in front of us, trying to deliver some more intensity into his players, but this is not a good start for Brighton at all.
Liverpool actually have lost 4 of the last 9 in all competitions, and one of the things that Arne Slot was keen to point out was that they needed a little bit of a refresh. Maybe they've come back even more focused. Here's Chiesa working to the edge of the area, went to pull the trigger, didn't, gave it to Bradley instead, who fizzes it through the 6-yard box, and it goes beyond the right side of the post and out for a goal kick away to our left. But Chiesa picking the ball up there in a pocket of space, running at the Brighton defence, cutting in on his right foot, edge of the D, didn't shoot, decided to play it out towards Bradley, who got himself into a good position, and he knows he should have finished that.
Yeah, I think that was more of a shot than a cross, wasn't it? It's one of them, he tries to open his body up from the right hand side and kind of bend it left to right with the instep, just hits it a bit too flush on the face, and it goes straight through. But again, really poor for Brighton. 2 passes, Liverpool break through that midfield press, and then Chiesa, again, he hasn't played a lot of games. I'd expect him to shoot there, Sam. He turns down Salah, which is the right option. Salah does a wonderful run to take the defenders in, but I would expect him at that point then to get your shot off and prove he could be in this team on a regular basis.
Estepinian steaming forward again down the left-hand side, tries to feed the ball into the path of Brian Gruder, but a bit like what you said earlier, that was more of a hopeful ball, hoping that it reached its target, rather than a precise delivery from Estepinian that was going to find someone in a blue and white shirt. It breaks down, it's out for a throw in far side, and Brighton have possession.
Yeah, it indicates to me really quickly when you watch a game, especially we've done enough this season to see it, what teams have been working on, and clearly Brighton have been working on the press and then building out from the back, because everything else in free play is just off the cuff at this moment in time. The manager probably expecting really good players to think and act for themselves, and they're a little bit confused.
They look like they're trying to get the ball quickly into the Liverpool half and then try and get bodies up and see what happens.
Yeah, and he goes wide, hope the wide players can get at someone, flood the box and see what happens, but the wide players take too many touches for me, and the crosses at this moment in time have been pretty poor.
Big long clearance by Alisson right down the middle of the pitch, headed away by Estepinian, collected by Belieber, who has the time to turn and bring it out, looked up and is just looking at Adingra and suggesting that actually when he got into that position there was an opportunity to get it forward to him, but he wasn't alert and ready for the receiving of the pass. Van Hecke comes in wrong side and makes a foul on Gakpo. Free kick given away just 7 yards outside the box, and then Belieber's kicked the ball away.
Changed it. Ref told us to change it.
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking that was a bit straight. That was a yellow card waiting to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, I think that one's flat.
And the substitute kicked it back into play, and then Gakpo said no, we'll have another one instead, and the referee is just testing the pressure of it now. Yes, that was lucky. I did think at the time, I thought Belieber's lost his head with Adingra for not being ready for the pass that he wanted to send forward, and he's ended up getting himself a yellow card. Voted by the supporters as Brighton's Young Player of the Year, Carlos Belieber. You understand why. He's got boundless energy. He's a proper midfield player. Szoboszlai to take this free kick then. He's just slightly left of centre. They've stolen an extra yard or so, got closer to goal. There's a 4-man Brighton wall, and there's quite a few on the edge of the area lurking with intent. Tsimikas is there as well, if it's better for a left footer to
keep the sides on all day here, Szoboszlai.
He's going to strike it. Szoboszlai, right foot is straight into the wall, and it comes off the chest of Vifa and is cleared away out to the far side. It's Bradley now onto Elliott in towards Gravenberg, who got there ahead of Ayari, but Estepinian did well. Ayari sort of half clear. Welbeck gets it further forward. Adingra back to Welbeck again, who clips it over the top now, and there's a chance to break for Adingra, who takes it out of the sky and runs at Konate, beats him on the outside, then comes back infield, looks for Mintos inside the area and in support, gets it once and then gets it for a second time to the byline, produced across, Vifa coming in, but it's away by the retreating Gravenberg inside the penalty area. It was actually Gakpo got back inside the penalty area to help out his defence, and he heads it clear. Good opportunity for Brighton.
Yeah, really good again. 2 wide men, but that ball's on all day. Danny Welbeck just does a little one to it and just flicks it over the top to allow Adingra to get running. Konate slowed him up, and then obviously Minte got there.
Here's Adingra again taking on Bradley, getting into the penalty area, getting it onto his right foot, then sending it back to Ayari. And then from 5-6 yards outside the box, Belieber picks it up. Webster now trying to travel forward and send it wide. Estepinian has fallen over, so he couldn't pass him the ball, so he has to cut back infield. Gives it to Van Hecke. Van Hecke then switches it back out to Estepinian over on that far side. He brings it down. Chance to cross. It's a deeper one into the box looking for Welbeck. Headed away by Kwanzaa. collected by Belieber again. Brighton pushing forward, trying to disrupt the Liverpool backline, trailing by a goal to nil. The goal scored by Harvey Elliott, crafted by Conor Bradley. Back into Vifa, edge of the penalty area, surrounded immediately by three, declined the opportunity to get the ball into the box. It then hits Gakpo as the cross comes in from Minte, and it goes all the way back to Van Hecke, and they're looking to build again. This is Belieber into Minte. That was a good ball by him. Minte taking it on, plays it to the edge of the box. Gruder now inside the area, tries to feed it, comes back towards Minte, hits it poorly, and it flicks off Welbeck anywhere, and it'll go out for a goal kick away to our right hand side. This is the latest odds all available from Ladbrokes. Right now you can get Brighton at 18-5 to come back and win the game. The draw 3-1. Liverpool 13-8 on to win the match. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org. Here's Troy Deeney.
Yeah, just again feel like we're echoing the same points from earlier, but really good play for Brighton. More control build-up, but going wide, and as it's going wide, it's kind of hopeful. Minte this time, too many touches again, be a bit more deliberate, and it's just one of those ones where you just want him to go. You've got Tsimikas in the box, go and get at him. You can't touch it, but he brings himself back out of the box and allows the defender then to go on the front foot, because he's not going to make a tackle in the box. So really poor from an attacking point of view, and they're turning down crosses now, which they wasn't doing earlier.
Here's Adingra, who's picked the ball up after a poor decision by Harvey Elliott, and then a poor decision by Estepinian, who I think was trying to shoot, but he decided, he didn't decide, he just couldn't execute it properly and send it out of play rather harmlessly from the left-hand side. I mean, literally, it must have gone about 15 yards wide. Yeah, it's a ridiculous angle to shoot from.
Again, even on that point, there's no point shooting there. It's 1 in 1,000 that you're going to score. You're going up against Alisson in a really difficult position, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and you got better options in the box. Again, these end of season games start showing people's character, because people start to go, right, I can nick a goal here for myself, and start thinking about their next moves or their next contract. The only one from a Brighton perspective who's playing the game to the standard that you'd expect is Belieber. Everybody else is a little bit off it.
Poor header away by Bradley, picked up by Gruder, who's got room to run into here. Gets up to the left edge of the Liverpool penalty area, then feeds Adingra, who's crossed towards Welbeck. He's headed down and narrowly wide. Well, he got up brilliantly there, Danny Welbeck, to meet that cross from Simon Adingra, and he's disappointed he hasn't hit the target.
Has to score. Sorry, Danny, you've got to score, mate. That's a great ball to the back post. You've got Tsimikas firing in just to try and get a little bit of power. And it's a free header 7 yards out, and he heads it clean. He just heads it wide. That might be handball.
Well, they've restarted the game very quickly.
There was a little angle there, but it looked like it may have hit Tsimikas on the back of the arm. But weirdly, they're not looking at it. The referee's not been told to stop or nothing. Why is that, FA Sam?
Maybe they didn't have the angles in the VAR room at Stockley Park. I mean, it did look like handball, didn't it? Because his arm was definitely in an unnatural position. It was high above his head. Interesting. Here is Szoboszlai picking the ball up, running through the centre of midfield. It's cut back by Webster and sent all the way to the goalkeeper for Bruggen. And it's out towards this near side where Van Hecke plays it into Gruder. Gruder travelling backwards, keeps hold of possession, finds Van Hecke, then on to Webster, who looks to chip the ball over the top for Minte to run into space. He does that. Now he tries to take on Tsimikas, flips it into the box at the near post. Konate manages to get it clear. Again, it was just another hopeful ball through the penalty area rather than a precise one looking for Danny Welbeck, who just peeled off Konate and got into the centre of the penalty box.
Just that simple flick over the top though, again, isn't it, from Webster. This Liverpool line's really aggressive, but as they get up, they're not set to run backwards.
Here is Adingra trying to dance his way into the box. A right-footed shot straight into the arms of Alisson. But it's interesting that they're getting quite a lot of joy over on that left-hand side. Estepinian and Adingra getting a lot of the ball. They haven't utilised it as maybe best they can, but I think Conor Bradley's aggressive set, so his starting position is higher up the field, and Salah's reluctance to come back and help him out means that he finds himself in a situation where he's being targeted a little bit.
Yeah, but he's doing a good job because he keeps sending them inside to Konate where the extra bodies are.
Taken out of the sky by Danny Welbeck. Forward towards Minte. Poor layoff by him. Cut away by Jarell Quansah, and he clears it up over the halfway line. Fabian Hertzler just trying to urge his team forward. A few of the Brighton fans just doing their best to try and raise the tempo amongst their supporters. A little bit frustrated that they haven't managed to get in yet, but they might get in now. Gruder onto Ayari. Right-footed edge of the area. It's a lovely finish and a well-crafted goal by Brighton. 1-1 the score. A super ball by Brian Gruder to pick out Ayari. The finish was sensational. It beat Allison from the edge of the box. A lovely Brighton Hove Albion move. It's 1-1.
What a ball this is. Love, it's a poor set from Danny Welbeck, but as it comes to Gruder, just fires it with the inside of his left foot, takes Konate completely out of the game, and then what a touch by Ayare. One touch, second touch, edge of the box, into the far corner. No chance for Allison. Wonderful goal, wonderful team goal, but the run from deep, Konate doesn't see it coming. Conor Bradley nearly gets back in there, but Konate all at sea. Wonderful goal from Brighton. 1-1, game on.
Scored the opener against West Ham United. Fabian Hertzler says when he talks about Yasin Ayari, the 21-year-old Swede, he gets goosebumps. Well, he'll get goosebumps over that. That's a terrific goal. Well taken, low to the goalkeeper's right. Gruder's got a lot of credit in the bank after creating that, because his pass was perfectly weighted over the top of the Liverpool defence, and from the centre of the D, one touch, the second one, sublime.
I think it's a really good example, though, just how vital it is for Liverpool to have Virgil van Dijk in the team, because these two centre-backs have been, while they're good number twos, I would call them, people that play alongside a proper number one centre-back, there's no one taking ownership.
Welbeck gets it now and tries to shoot first time as he brings the ball down. Ayari had won it back as a poor clearance was dealt with by Brighton and fed back into Welbeck. It was sent out towards that right-hand side. I think it was Konate who gave it away, and then Welbeck gets the ball inside the penalty area. Maybe could have laid that off to Belieber.
Yeah, he has to square it to Belieber, and Belieber will come on and finish it, similar like the Declan Rice one for people that would have saw that. He has to just lay it onto him, let him come onto the ball and whip it home with his left foot. Interestingly, just down to our left, Van Dijk, Robertson and Joe Gomez all been sent out to warm up. I think it just shows where Liverpool are at this moment in time, defensively all over the place.
Well, they've conceded another goal. We thought there might be some goals tonight with Brighton, who have conceded, well, only the relegated teams have conceded more than them since the last 13 games. Gruder being urged on by his manager to run at the Liverpool defence. He's picked it up on halfway and he's run to the edge of the penalty area. He's got all the way there now, and here's Adingra with a shot. It's blocked by Bradley, who got out very quickly to him. Back it comes to Ayari, 10 yards from the penalty area. Tries to turn it back, looking for someone out on that left-hand side. Didn't quite come off, so eventually Adingra's gone out there. Got it to Estepinian inside the area. Gruder back to goal, back to Estepinian. Again, the effort from Estepinian is a bit of a waste, because he was running backwards and then trying to pull his right leg back to get the shot away, which meant there was no chance he was going to get the requisite power on that, and it's into the arms of Allison.
Yeah, really poor, but again, Brighton just getting out. When they get the passing out of the Liverpool press right, they're at this back line 3v3 or 4v3 in this situation. I actually thought Gruder took the wrong decision there. He should have probably passed it.
Here come Liverpool at the other end with Salah. A rare attack in the last few moments. Salah towards the edge of the penalty area is dispossessed, and it's picked off by Ayari, who's started the game really well. Gruder's had a lot of influence too. Vifa joining now. Minte's got it right side. They're running at the defence again. Minte for Brighton, moving towards the edge of the area, takes a heavy touch and gives it away to Tsimikas, who brings Jarrell Quansah into play, and Liverpool are able to clear.
He's got to do better there, Minte. I know the manager's excited because he's really pacey, really aggressive when he runs forward. That's just a lack of quality there. Just ran directly at Tsimikas. Heavy touch, takes it through to Jarrell Quansah. I don't expect him to shift his body, get in on that left foot and try and get a shot off. Similarly, with Salah, he's been really poor these first 35 minutes, hasn't he?
Well, actually, if you look at him over the course of the last few weeks, he's actually scored one non-penalty goal in his last 12 games in all competitions since late February. It hasn't been a vintage Mo Salah end to the season. You're listening to Brighton 1, Liverpool 1 on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has all the vehicles your business needs, with flexibility to rent for minutes or months. This is Talk Sport. Brighton 1, Liverpool 1, and it's been a hectic, frantic start to the game. End to end, a little bit of chaos here and there, and lots going on, lots to discuss at half-time, but also, I think, more goals in the offing. I just wonder whether or not the game can retain this level of tempo and pace going into the second half.
You'd expect to, because both teams have got really strong benches, haven't they, today? So you'd expect that both teams will make changes and then actually more attacking changes as well. And have people like Darwin Núñez who want to score, and Curtis Jones who wants to score. That's just from a Liverpool perspective. But then obviously when you look from a Brighton perspective, the players that they have on the bench are all in a position now of just coming back and want to show what they can do. The likes of O'Reilly, Mitoma, people like that will want to come in and show that they can still score goals and end the season well.
Liverpool have the chance to get to 89 points. It will be the fourth most that they've managed in the Premier League. They failed to win the title with 92 points in 2022 and 97 points in 2019. In fairness, they won it so early this time. If they'd needed more points, they could have got those. But it is 1-1 here, and they might be dropping points again. They are in danger of going 3 without a win for the first time this season in the Premier League. Alisson out to the far side, looking to build from the back with Konate. He moves forward. He's got Gruder for company now. Szoboszlai's dropped deep to pick the ball up here. He runs and then sends the ball forward. Beautifully flighted pass out to the left, and Gakpo, who takes it on and moves into the penalty area. Tsimikas on the underlapping run, sends the ball in towards the near post as well. Dealt with by Brighton, comes back out to Szoboszlai again. He turns it towards the far post, headed away by Webster ahead of Salah, who was coming in on the edge of the 6-yard box. Brighton just about get it clear, and Gruder's got it once more, and that always means danger for Liverpool because he's been a real influence on the game. Here is Adingra out on the left-hand side. He's got Estepinian for company as well if he wants to use him. He keeps darting towards the edge of the box and then brings Estepinian into play. He guides it back towards Adingra, and the Ivorian just gives it into Estepinian once more. They just delay getting the cross in, and then there's a little slip by Ayari, and it just means that they have to retreat to the halfway line.
Really interested just watching Fabian Hertz there getting frustrated with Minter. It's took him an age to get up here. It's like he's blowing a gasket already. I know he's had a few runs early on, but since he's given the ball away, he's been very languished in his body language, and Hertz is looking at the bench saying, do I need to bring him off?
Believer trying to pierce the Liverpool back line with a ball through the lines. It's cut out by Gravenberch. He does so well at reading those. He takes it to the halfway line. That's a real battle between those two, Gravenberch and Believer, in the middle of the park. 1-1 the score. Here's Conor Bradley for Liverpool, right side. Look at Fabian Hertzler. He's screaming from the touchline, getting his team up to the halfway line. Puts them right up on that right line, the chalk of the halfway line. Estepinian just a little bit lackadaisical with his line, and it was offside, Salah, but Estepinian just switched off when everybody else moved up. He didn't.
Yeah, I'm just watching Fabian Hertz. Very frustrated because it was clear that Salah was offside, but they played 2 really good passes there, Brighton, from the goalkeeper into Webster, straight into Belieber, and they're at this back line really, really quickly. For some reason, the ref just decided to pull it back. I think when you look at Brighton and the standards that Fabian Hertz is trying to put in, you'd expect that they will keep this going, but also it looks like he's trying to set a culture of, I want to play every game at the same intensity. He's really frustrated with Minter just down below us, and really frustrated with his team in general when they're not getting up the pitch. So I think you're going to see a quite frustrated, animated Fabian Hertz at half-time going into his team saying, right, we need to pick this up again because Liverpool are there for the taking.
Well, Liverpool have only lost 2 of the last 32 Premier League games. For all the talk of them being on the beach, they started this game really well. Brighton readjusted and have just taken a little bit of control of it, but they're always a threat, Liverpool, when they come forward, and Gakpo is the latest to come down this left-hand side. He got a little bit of luck, comes back in on his right foot, gets to the edge of the area, well-timed tackle by Vipa. Jarrell Quansah gets there first, and then the ball is diverted out by Gruder towards this near side. Vipa reacts, gets across, makes a tackle on Jarrell Quansah. It goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the 18-yard box. We've got 5 minutes before half-time. Brighton 1, Liverpool 1 on Talk Sport tonight. Remember, Wednesday night from Bilbao, live coverage of the Europa League final between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. The winner gets a place in the Champions League as well as the UEFA Europa League trophy. It's a fascinating match. I don't think it's easy to call that match, and this certainly isn't either.
Yeah, it's really those games are the intriguing ones, aren't they? If you had to put your money on it now, who would you put on? If you Man U or Spurs?
The draw. Here is Jarell Quansah, infield towards Konate. Konate up to Tsimikas running back to halfway, lays it off to Quansah, and he will guide it all the way back to Alisson, who has been beaten by a terrific finish from Yassine Ayari about 12 minutes ago. Really good finish from him after an excellent ball forward by Gruder. Made the most of Danny Welbeck's layoff, which wasn't perfect, but Gruder made it look as if it was. Lovely ball over the top, well controlled by Ayari, and an excellent finish into the corner. Estupiñán getting pulled out of position and coming into the central area and getting in Webster's way a little bit there. Ball played back down the line by Liverpool. Estupiñán wins it. Ayari then turns it to Van Hecker, and now they get out the other side with Vipa, who moves up into the midpoint of the Liverpool half and then centres the ball to Belieber. Back to Ayari. Again, he's just trying to force that into Gruder when the ball wasn't on. Belieber makes a really good challenge. The ball ricochets in the middle of the park, but Liverpool recover the possession, and then Szoboszlai finds Gakpo, who sends it on to Elliott. Van Hecker overcommitted himself and he's left the gap, and Salah is going down the right side into the area. Chiesa pulls off. Salah goes for goal. It bounces off Estupiñán and goes out for a corner over on the far side. 1-1.
That's a pour from Salah. Really good play from Liverpool, getting away from this back line, but he has to set Chiesa in the middle of the park here. Chiesa's 12 yards out, just outside the penalty spot. Just roll it across him and shoot. Quite a selfish move there from Mo Salah, and maybe he heard us saying he's not been playing too well and needs a goal to get us off his back.
Well, he has two major career landmarks at once tonight. His 300th Premier League career appearance and his 400th appearance for Liverpool in all competition.
Wow. Really good.
Here is Tsimikas with a delivery deep into the penalty area. It's caught by Verbruggen and is cleared away. In terms of goals, Salah only behind Kane and Shearer for the most goals after 300 Premier League appearances. Behind only Roger Hunt for the most goals after 400 appearances for Liverpool. He does, however, come into tonight's match in his poorest form of the season. Here is Estupiñán down the left-hand side, looking for Brighton to get on the front foot again with Adingra. Adingra now moves towards the midpoint of the left side. Estupiñán has really struggled in this first 45 minutes to find his rhythm.
Yeah, he's been really poor again. Lovely setback, just feed it to the back post. Danny Welbeck pulled on Tsimikas, but he hits the ankles of Harvey Elliott in front of him. He looks like he's been out in Dubai.
Webster forward towards Welbeck. Welbeck back to Belieber. Belieber out towards the left-hand side. Collected now by Estupiñán, who sends it wide towards the left, and it's now on to Adingra, who runs, gets to the edge of the box, guides it back to Ayari. Ayari clips the ball into the area looking for Vipa. Comes back down for Gruder, who takes it down well. He's kept hold of it. Left it for Welbeck. He's taken over. It's a congested penalty area. They're trying to find space. Gruder's still got it. Left-hand side. Takes a deflection and pops up into the arms of Alisson, but the Brighton supporters were all screaming, someone hit it, someone hit it, and when eventually they did, it took a deflection and Alisson gathered.
I can't believe Gruder doesn't hit it first. That was a great header from Jarell Quansah, puts it back into the middle of the penalty area, but he just hit it on the bounce. He doesn't, drops the valves, hit it again, he doesn't, but they decided at the end to make their decision count, and when they finally got that shot off, it took two deflections, easier to Alisson, but again, Estupiñán there just as a counter-attack, just makes a foul on Bradley. He's been really poor this first half.
Yeah, 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Estupiñán has struggled a little bit. The free kick he's given away now is 13 yards outside the box, wide on the right-hand side. And Liverpool looking to try and craft a way to get in front just before the half-time whistle blows. Elliott and Szoboszlai standing over it. Jarell Quansah, Konate, Gakpo, all targets. They're the tallest men in Liverpool colours. Chiesa just hanging out of the penalty area on this left-hand side, now making a move to get into the box. It's taken short for Elliott by Szoboszlai, who's then gone down the outside, produced the ball towards the bar post. Oh, what a terrific finish that is! A well-designed set piece that caught Brighton cold. It was played short to Elliott, who returned it to Szoboszlai down the right side of the box, and from a difficult angle, unmarked, he smacked the ball over Bart Verbruggen's head and into the far corner to score a corker. Liverpool lead at the break. Dominic Szoboszlai celebrating and Brighton caught cold.
Again, really well worked. A little overs from Szoboszlai. Brighton again not coming to it. I actually think it's a cross, but it's a wonderful, wonderful finish if he's meant it. Lovely little 1-2 with Harvey Elliott. And it's like a knuckleball from the right-hand side of the area to the far post, inside netting. No chance for the keeper. Looks like he's tried to shape it for a cross. Don't you think he's just caught it so well it's gone in?
Well, Arne Slot put his hands to his head. The guy who does the set pieces looked as if he was taking credit for it. So I don't know whether or not they
what they all do.
Yeah, you're right. He's probably seen the mural and wants one for himself. But Bruggen is complaining that he's hurt his back. And I think he sort of overstretched and the ball went over his head. But he will be a little bit disappointed, I think, by that.
As will Brighton, because literally that is half-time as I speak.
Well, even after a stop in Dubai and a bit of a party, Liverpool still can summon the talent and energy to scythe down the Seagulls. Dominic Szoboszlai's goal right at the end of the first half has put them back in front. They took the lead early on, a really well-worked move, which ended with Harvey Elliott popping in from good work from Conor Bradley. They did get on the score sheet, Brighton, but they were a little bit sloppy at times, and they let Liverpool back in right on the stroke of half-time. At the break, it is Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. I don't know how convinced I am that was a cross. I still maintain that I think that was a shot from Szoboszlai. And you know what? Speaking to the great Ray Houghton at half-time, he's convinced that it was too. Are you 100% sure that it was a cross?
No, I think the way he walked down there laughing with his teammates suggested it was a little bit lucky, is what I would say.
Interesting. Would you hit a cross that hard?
He does. He hits everything that hard. It's impossible.
Okay.
More importantly,
yes.
How good were those cookies at half-time, by the way? Well, I know you didn't have one because you are trying to be all sensible and on a diet, but you need to grow up.
Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. We're about to start the second half. Don't try and hug it out with me. When Liverpool shooting away to our right-hand side in red shirts, red shorts and red socks, and blue and white stripes of Brighton and Hove Albion, with the blue shorts tacking the goal away to our left-hand side. A ball collected by Estepinian, a little one-touch pass around the corner by Gruder. He's had a really good start to the game. I think we're a bit surprised that O'Reilly was dropped today and that Gruder came into the team, but he's done very well, I think, at times. And there were flashes of Brighton's quality in that first half, but I thought they were a little bit skittish, especially in the first 15-20 minutes of that match.
What does skittish mean?
Just a little bit off the cuff, a little bit sort of not quite at the right sort of. Usually you have a bit.
I'll be honest, mate, you're not selling this to any of us. And skittish is the new word that we're going to use. Okay, skittish. A little bit off it is what you said, off the pace. I've got to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to have to define the word skittish if I'm completely. Anyway, here is Tsimikas over on the left-hand side. Where's Danny Murphy? There's only one more week left to be, mate, don't worry.
2-1 the score. There was a collision involving Tsimikas and Minte, which has led to Minte falling rather awkwardly onto the ground. He's going to get a free kick right of centre, a similar sort of place from where the free kick was taken, which led to the Szoboszlai goal before half-time. He's getting some treatment after an awkward landing, I think, is probably what you could put that down to. Bart van Bruggen just coming over to have a word with Fabian Herzler. I think the goalkeeper is going to be under scrutiny after that goal from Szoboszlai.
Can I just say, one of my pet hates in football.
Yes.
45 minutes they played, 15 minutes in there for the manager to pass all his rules and regs on and what he thinks. 1 minute in, and the keeper comes over asking what we need to do.
Well, it's, you can't retain everything.
He's a goalkeeper. Kick the ball out your net. That's all you need to worry about.
Well, he didn't do that twice in the first half. And it's Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. And Brighton haven't won back-to-back Premier League games since 4 successive wins between February and March. Failed to score in one of the last 12, though, so they can score goals. The problem has been they've been leaking far too many. That's been the issue for them. Liverpool's motivation to win this game comes from the ability to establish one of the biggest margins of victory in Premier League history. They can go 15 points ahead of Arsenal with a victory tonight. That will be the 4th biggest gap between first and second in the Premier League era. Still Minter gets his treatment over on the far side. Fabian Hertzler is asking what the situation is. He's talking to the medical department saying, what's the decision here? Is he coming off or is he staying on? Matoma is warming up away to our left hand side. Would be the obvious choice to come in and replace him. He is now up, and there was a thumbs up decision from the medical staff over on the far touchline, so I think he will continue.
I think it's more his neck, the way he landed. Just be careful though, because I was listening to the Moose, and any injury that involves the head, they need to come and stand at the side for 15 minutes.
You did complain about that yesterday, didn't you?
Absolutely talking nonsense as always.
Here is
Ruger Moose
with the free kick. Also standing over it is Ayari, who's now going to take over taking duties. He takes a poor one in towards the near post, and then Estepinian with an acrobatic overhead kick, which he doesn't connect with. It's a poor throw out by Allison though, and Adingra has picked it up. He's just short of the penalty area, gives it to Estepinian, who goes down theatrically after contact from Gravenberg. 2 legs buckled underneath him, and he sprung into the air. He looked a little bit like a seagull there.
Really good play. Poor from Allison, tries to get Conor Bradley away. Doesn't see Adingra down his left-hand side, throws it straight to him. Lovely little ball inside to Estepinian. As he drops the shoulder, Gravenberch just bites on that, lets it run across his body, and then just upends him. It is a foul. A really wonderful position. I always wonder here, what are we, 22 yards out? Left-hand side of the goal. Everyone tries to go up and over from here. I love it when players go keeper side, because the keeper normally will take half the step. But it'd be very brave for a keeper to stand and not have to deal with this and not without patting it out. Do you get what I mean? You have everyone crashing in now on this opposite side of the pitch.
Well, Welbeck has started to add this sort of skill to his armoury. He's going to take the free kick. 5 goals in his last 12. There's a 4-man wall and one on the end. They might try and disrupt that and go for that gap. It's Welbeck to step up, right-footed. He goes round the corner. It's a great save by Allison. Big arm over the top of his head, reaching high to tuck it round the post. It was a brilliant free kick, which was curling towards the far post from Danny Welbeck. And Allison with a big save.
Oh yeah, that's going right in the corners. A wonderful save. Clearly I taught Danny that at my time at Watford, you see.
Which is why it's taken him so long to own it. Here's the corner over on the far side to be taken by Gruder, who's a deep ball towards Welbeck, a free header. It hits Elliott, comes back out to Adingra, who cracks it, bounces into the path of Gruder again, far side, chops back in on his left foot, tries to get into a crossing or shooting position. He does shoot to the far side of the goal, and down again was Allison to make another good save. He immediately releases it long and up towards the far side. It almost fell for Cody Gakpo, but Baliba was there. Well, the second half has started in a similar vein to which the first half was played. Hectic, frantic and on the front foot. And Gruder's got it again for Brighton. Down the right, getting towards the edge of the penalty area, slipping it infield to Ayari. That was a robust challenge from Szoboszlai. You're right, he hits everything hard.
I told you. I just think as well there, that's a perfect example as to why, in my opinion, Alisson is the best goalkeeper in world football. Not only is it a good save, he holds it, and as soon as he gets hold of it, he sets Liverpool off on a really quick counter-attack. Wonderful goalkeeping, but I think Danny Welbeck should probably do a little bit better. They worked it really well to the back post, heads it back across, but it should have worked for goal in my opinion. 8 yards out, try and test the goalkeeper.
Ayari with the free kick into the near post again, and again it hits sort of like that area where it was easy to defend, and even though it came closest to Mats Vifa, it was impossible for him with his body shape to turn and try and get that towards goal. It's gobbled up by Allison, and Liverpool get it clear.
Liverpool just need a couple of minutes, don't they, of possession, take the sting out of the game. Brighton have started the second half fantastically well. I'd imagine the manager has given them a bit of a lively because he wasn't too happy as they were walking in, and that goal from Szoboszlai maybe just giving them a little rocket up the backside that they needed.
Well, Liverpool's title charge has largely been built on their excellent record after half-time this season. If you look at each second half as an individual game, Liverpool have won, in inverted commas, 23 of the 36 matches they've played so far. And they have the equivalent of 20 points more after half-time than any other team. That shows just how impressive they are in the second half of matches. They've also got 11 more second half goals than any other side this season. Here is Webster as the ball's played through the middle, and his gap is being exploited here by Cody Gakpo, who's ended up pushing Max Vifa in the back. The referee has given a free kick in the Brighton man's favour, and he was a little bit fortunate there, Max Vifa, that the ball went in that direction, because actually if he had just gone a slightly little bit more central, then Chiesa would have been away. Gravenberch has just caught in Danny Welbeck's there as the ball bounced towards him. It's given away by Brighton to Liverpool, and Liverpool on the attack with Salah. Salah setting the ball up for Chiesa, right footed edge of the area. His shot is blocked, cleared away, and now another attack is on, and they're misshapen here, Liverpool. There's only 3 back, and there's 3 in the attack, and Adingra is joining as well. And Jarell Quansah timed his intervention to perfection, and it was overrun by Van Hecke, and the ball was given away. And here's Gakpo at the other end, charging into the area. Salah is there, he's missed the target from 6 yards out. Well, Cody Gakpo immediately charged forward as soon as Brighton lost the ball. The basketball game continues, one attack leading to another, and when Gakpo got in behind the defence, he only had one option in the area. That was Salah, and 7 yards from goal, Mo Salah has put the ball, which was on a plate for him really, wide of the left-hand upright.
Oh, he has to score. Has to score. Great play from Cody Gakpo, driving down that left-hand side, gets a cross in, wonderfully weighted ball. He's just saying to Salah, go on, just tap me home. Unfortunately, puts it the wrong side of the post. I think he's earned a little bit of a right, though, hasn't he, to miss that one for the couple of seasons he has had.
Maybe he's just thinking about that golden boot. Is he going to get over the line with it? Looks like he is. You're listening to Brighton. Who have Manchester City got on the final day of the season? Fulham? You never know, they might be on the beach. Brighton versus Liverpool live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract with Now, like Brighton versus Liverpool live right now. Search Now Sports. You know, I think that Alexander Isak might miss the end of the season as well, which is good news for Salah in that regard. Not great news for Newcastle United, who will need to win on the final day. Here is Adingra into Danny Welbeck, back down by Elliott, and then all the way back by Konate towards his goalkeeper Alisson, who will clear it. Webster chests it down, not a great clearance by Alisson. Webster takes it into the Liverpool half, down the left side of the box. It's on towards Adingra again. Again, it's this end-to-end tempo in this Premier League match, this last one at the Amex Stadium. It's not a great cross from Webster. The ball goes out of play, and it's away for a goal kick on this left-hand side. It's the kind of guy who's a very good defender, and I'm sure he's very well thought of amongst the Brighton supporters, but you don't want him crossing from the edge of the penalty area left-footed.
No, you want him heading and kicking it, don't you, at best? I was just thinking, we didn't really get to talk about that breakaway because Liverpool went down the other end, but Brighton had a 4v2 in their favour.
Yeah.
Again, Gruder takes an awful touch and just gives Liverpool the chance to defend their lines. That should have been an opportunity, and another opportunity that the manager will be looking at from a Brighton point of view is, we can get that right moving forward, we'll be a real team and a real force for next year.
Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara on the sports bar from 10 o'clock tonight. 03717 223344. TalkSport breakfast again today and tomorrow as well. Jeff Stelling and Ali and McCoy, those two back together for the first time in a while. White and Jordan 10 till 1 tomorrow as well, all reflecting on this game and building up to that final in Bilbao. Here's Adingra down the left hand side, getting towards the edge of the penalty area, beating Bradley, sending across into the box, flicked away by Jarell Quansah, collected on the other side of the box by Minte, into the area it goes. Konate manages to head it away. It's dropped on the edge of the area, offside flag is up, and a free kick is going to be given. I don't think anyone's quite sure who the offside was against. Danny Welbeck is looking as if it might have been him. Arne Slot's not happy, he's in the ear of the officials.
He's getting into Conor Bradley actually. He's saying to don't dive, be stronger. As earlier on, Minter won the ball back off him and kind of tried to cheat the system and try and get a little bit of a dive in there, but it didn't end up being that way and gave away a throw-in deep in their own half.
Oh yeah, it's wrestling with Adingra, wasn't he, on this near touchline. Away by Van Hecke as the clearance is immediately won back by Brighton once again. Minte into Welbeck, then spread wide to the left-hand side, and Gruder with an effort which flashes through the 6-yard box and goes out the other side. It really is just the finishing touch for Brighton at the moment. 2-1 to Liverpool, but they've had their chances.
Yeah, again, wonderful play, cutting in on that left foot from the right-hand side, past Tsimikas, tries to shape it, but unfortunately kind of knuckleballs it, and the ball goes, instead of going in left to right, it goes right to left. Again, just that little bit of quality in that final third. It'll be something that obviously the hierarchy at Brighton will be looking at, because the likes of João Pedro, I mean, Matoma will be really, really useful in those situations.
Bradley coming forward, sending it into Elliott. Elliott trying to work it out the other side. It's collected by Tsimikas. Tsimikas then on to Cody Gakpo. Matt Speaker comes out to meet him midway inside the Brighton half. It's one back by Belieber again. Gruder's picked it up and now he's ready to counter-attack. He's got company with Szoboszlai, who's knocked him to the floor again, and that's the second time he's done that. He's going to find himself with a strong talking to, and actually the referee might well end up booking him here. No, he's just going to book him.
I don't think either of those are bookings. It's just been forceful and very strong. I don't even think they're fouls now. I think the players get to a point where they just dive down, and the referee unfortunately thinks I have to give that. Do you think that's a foul?
Yeah.
FA Sam at it again.
Estepinian into Adingra and then across towards Welbeck. Welbeck forward towards Estepinian again, who's in the area. He centres it brilliantly into Gruder. Back heel to Welbeck, saved by Alisson. It's an outstanding save by the Brazilian goalkeeper, who came out and made himself supersized to stop that certain goal from Danny Welbeck. What a lovely move.
Yeah, again, just proving why, in my opinion, as I said earlier, the best goalkeeper in the land. Wonderful from Gruder, rolls it back into Danny Welbeck. And the thing that really makes this a great save, Alisson, 6 yards out, rushes to the ball. Most goalkeepers would stay, he rushes and closes that angle down. Wonderful save. Again, Brighton will feel that little bit of quality in the final third, and this game could have been 2 or 3 in their favour.
It was a really good save from Alisson. The speed across the ground was all important. Here's the corner, sent in towards Mats Beeper, punched away by Alisson, who came through a crowd of players again. Back out to Estepinian. He then turns the ball back out to the far side, but is it going to reach its intended target? It is. Gruder's brought it down brilliantly onto his left foot, wanders into the penalty area. It took an age to pull the trigger, and when he did, he was off balance and it goes over the top. A couple of substitutions incoming here for Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold is warming up. John Heiding has just gone over to the fourth official.
Looks like
Diaz first.
And Nunes, Darwin Nunes. Sorry for interrupting you.
It's fine, you keep going.
Looks like Darwin Nunes and Luis Diaz coming on. I can see why. There seems to be it's all Brighton at this moment in time. I don't remember saying Gakpo or Chiesa's name in a large part of this game, but it's just a case of, can they get the ball to stick? Chiesa obviously playing out of position as an out-and-out striker, but dare I say, he's just not good enough for this Liverpool team. A wonderful footballer, but just not the type of player that Liverpool need.
He was the only player that they bought last summer. He won't be the only player they buy this summer. There'll be more than just the one, I think. He's only played 403 minutes before tonight, and he's never really got up to the level that he had before the ACL injury.
Yeah,
Estepinian out towards Adingra. Adingra moving towards the edge of the area. He takes on Bradley, goes on the outside and overruns it.
And that's the point, isn't it? Again, just highlighted in one moment. They get out of the pressure so well, get into this final third, and then last little detail. Gets Conor Bradley turned the wrong way. Adingra just takes a heavy touch and it rolls off the pitch. Just got to fire it across the box. Let your attackers go to it. Looks like Curtis Jones is coming on as well.
Yep, we've got 3 substitutions happening. It's going to be Diaz, Nunez and Jones for Szoboszlai, Chiesa and Gakpo. That will happen in just a moment. Here is Bradley on the near side, finding Gravenberg. Gravenberg infield to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai engaged by Webster, who committed to a tackle he couldn't win. And now Szoboszlai moves down the right-hand side at pace. Salah wants it played into him. He's in the area, tries to take it. Does a little turn, but doesn't manage to get a shot away. It comes back to the edge of the box, and Gakpo gets right over it. Rifles the ball goalwards, but it's over the top of the crossbar. Still 2-1 to Liverpool.
And that's the difference in quality, isn't it? Liverpool get one opportunity, break it away. And it's a great hit from Gakpo, but every time Liverpool go forward, you have that sense and that feeling. There's a goal coming. There's burp there. The cup of tea from half time just came up on me. Sorry.
It was that cookie that you gobbled down in
it was 2.5
seconds.
It was 2, but it was 3 bites actually. I'll be proud of that. Anyway, that was the tea that bubbled up. But again, when Liverpool go forward, Sam, there's that feeling, isn't there, that they're going to score. When Brighton go forward, it's hopeful. It's more. It has to be perfect for them to score a goal.
Indeed.
Did you got something to say?
Well, I was just thinking about how many times that's going to be replayed on Clips of the Week.
Oh, I don't mind that. It's unlike me to go viral, isn't it?
3 changes have now taken place. It was the ones we advised you of. So a little change in the way that Liverpool are just going to set up. Diaz will go out to the left-hand side. Darwin Núñez will come through the middle. Salah still stays on the right-hand side. Kaoru Mitoma has just been recalled by Fabian Hürzeler, and he's going to get stripped and ready for action. He's missed the last few games with a heel injury, and he's about to come on to try and add to his 10 goals that he's got this season. He celebrates his 28th birthday tomorrow, Kaoru Mitoma.
He's a proper player, isn't he? He adds that bit of quality that we've been speaking about. It just seems like somebody that really enjoys football. That's a good ball.
It's a long ball right through the middle of the pitch by Bart Verbruggen. It almost reached Minte, was cut out eventually by the Liverpool defence, and then Núñez holds it up well. It's played back into the centre, and then Jones makes a third man run, gets to the edge of the penalty area, slip by Estepinian, and Jones tries to shoot, but it hits the back of the Ecuadorian, and then Elliott from the edge of the area, straight down the throat of Bart Verbruggen. It's going to be Adingra who comes off and Mitoma who comes on. You surprised by that change?
No, I think it could have been any of the two wide men. Neither have set the world like they've had a lot of opportunities to go and showcase what they can do, Sam, but no real quality at the end of it. And I think that's the difference with Mitoma. You know he's going to give you that pace, power, and that delivery towards the end, but he's also got a goal in him. It's never felt at any point that Adingra's going to score, did you?
Adingra gets a pat on the back and a clap of the hands to the Brighton supporters. It's the last time they'll see him in action this season. Mitoma is on, big fan favourite, and with good reason. High level of quality and a high level of production. He was linked with a move to Saudi Arabia in the January transfer window, but he's got no interest of playing there. He wants to play in the Premier League. He likes being in the Premier League. He likes playing for Brighton, and they will hope to keep hold of him. He will certainly has been linked with other moves, and probably will continue to be because of the level that he produces. Just having a word with Fabian Hürzeler on this near side about what he wants him to achieve as the ball is cleared up towards the Brighton right. Minte tussling with Tsimikas on halfway. He guides it back to Jarell Quansah, who in turn finds Alisson.
The big thing that they'll want from Mitoma, not only the quality, is that he builds himself into the game. When players just come back from injury, they normally rat around, and that's when you can get re-injured. That'd be the worst case scenario for them.
Here's Diaz down the left, moving towards the edge of the penalty area, gets it back into Curtis Jones. Jones trying to force his way into the box. It's bounced off Minte and come back to him. Then Diaz has got it inside the area, just a couple of inches inside the area left side. Back to Jones, and then out 10 yards back from the edge of the box, and Gravenberch, who's driving the ball forward. It bounces off Baliba and then spins out towards Konate on halfway. It remains 2-1 to Liverpool. Remember, Brighton really need to finish, will have to finish in 8th if they're going to have any chance of getting into Europe. Ball into the box looking for Darwin Núñez. It hits the side of his head and goes backwards somehow.
You're asking me to say something.
I didn't say a word.
I'm just looking at Adrian to our left, who is the biggest Darwin Núñez fan, and yeah, somehow we managed to head it behind him, which is a difficult skill. I'll pay about 70 million quid for that.
Here is Gravenberch out to Amanda. Look, I couldn't do it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have got up there, to be fair.
There was a rumour that you pulled out of the game, the charity game you're supposed to play, because you were scared of playing in the stadium. That was what I heard.
We've played in the stadium before.
Okay. Have a word with Mr. Crook.
Yeah, and you can't believe everything he says. Unless it's about transfers. Here's Jones out down the right hand side, looking to release Salah. Webster came across and timed his intervention brilliantly. Salah still got it back though. Núñez reverses it into Conor Bradley, trying to get hold of it, went to ground, got back up, then a back heel onto Salah. What a save by Verbruggen down to his left, an instinctive drop to push the ball away after a brilliant play from Liverpool. It's a top stop.
It's unbelievable save. Really good play from Conor Bradley again. Darwin Núñez, good hold-up play. Sprays it to Bradley, falls, but as he could try and get a shot, it's a lovely little back heel. Great feet from Salah, and it's a wonderful save. He's, 7 yards out there. Quick snapshot from Salah. And the best part about all this, as he saves it, I think Estepinian sets it back to him while he's on the ground 4 yards out and says, you clear it instead.
Cheers, fella. Nunez in behind. Van Hecker struggling to keep up with him. Nunez turns and plays it against Van Hecker. It goes out for a corner on the far side. It's currently Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. For the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brighton to win the game at 13-2. The draw is 12-5. Liverpool 15-8 on to win the match. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org. Another change incoming. In fact, 2 more changes incoming. 3 more changes. We raise it. It's not an auction.
Looks like Hinshelwood, O'Reilly. I can't quite see the other one there. Just doing his. Who is that?
Who is that?
Gomez.
It's Diego Gomez, the young Paraguayan. As the ball goes into the box, the offside flag is up. The ball went actually out and then came back in again from the corner. Yes, so the 3 changes are Hinshelwood, O'Reilly and Diego Gomez, who was bought in from MLS. And Belieber is coming off, which I'm a bit surprised about. He's going to be replaced by Diego Gomez. Do you know what? I thought Diego Gomez has made a really smooth transition, bearing in mind he's been playing in the MLS. I mean, he was playing with Messi, Busquets and Suarez, so, I mean, you know, he knows the standards.
Oh, good play.
Ball playing out into Belieber. This is his last act. He's running up through the middle of the park. He's got Welbeck in front of him and he's got Matoma over on the left-hand side. It's Matoma who takes it on. Lovely ball fitting towards Welbeck. He strikes, comes back towards Matoma! On the volley into the ground and high above Alisson, who stopped the initial shot from Welbeck but couldn't keep out the second from Matoma, who's off the bench to score goal 11 of the season and level things up at the Amex Stadium. Brighton 2, Liverpool 2.
That's that quality we spoke about, coming off that left-hand side. Lovely little ball into Danny Welbeck. Takes one touch inside the box, gets a shot off. Alisson, all he can do is parry it away, but Matoma doesn't stand and watch, follows up his work. As it breaks, it's a wonderful finish. Well, manoeuvres his body there. Great technique, fires it into the ground. He's been on the field, 5 minutes? Already showed his class. Brighton will be really, really happy to have him back. 2-2, game on.
That's brilliant, really. It really is very good from Kaoru Matoma, because that ball is higher than his leg should be able to go from that standing position, but he manages to get his left leg up high, an acrobatic area, and smash the ball into the ground. That means that it's impossible to stop from the Liverpool goalkeeper, because as it goes into the ground it just spirals back up again and it's into the net, and it's 2-2.
Well, Sam, he's been on the field for 5 minutes or so, and he's already showed you a level of class that the other 2 guys, Adingra and Minter, haven't been able to. For all the tricks and flicks and the pace that they have, it's all about quality at the end and that end product, and he's delivered that very, very quickly.
Well, O'Reilly and Gomez are going to come on. I wonder whether or not they're changing the substitutes now that they're going to make, knowing that they can win the game now. There's 20 minutes to go. They need to win realistically to keep up the fight for a place in the top 8. They know that Bournemouth play tomorrow night against Manchester City, live on TalkSport. What a take by Matoma on this near side. Takes the ball down, moves towards the edge of the box, hesitates, then sets it back for Belieber. Belieber then sends it wide onto Minte inside the area. Liverpool trying to scramble back and get players behind the ball as the ball comes in from Vipa. And Alisson takes charge, comes charging out and commands that area so well and manages to grab the ball and move to the edge of the box. I think it's just going to be one change now. Diego Gomez has been told to go and sit down.
Yeah, and again, it's a good sign of managing. How many people do that now, and they've got to a position where they're going to make the changes because they're chasing the game, and because the players are up, they panic then and don't want to upset the players, but it's all about winning the game. I think Belieber will stay on, personally. Jonas
Schauerman has just sent Diego Gomez to warm up down the left-hand side. Hinshelwood's put his bib back on. Now Diego Gomez is coming back again, and he's taken his bib off again, and he is going to end up coming on, I think, maybe a slightly different move, is it? Maybe they're going to put somebody else on instead. Shall we just wait until they do it?
Basically, mate, we ain't got a clue, have we?
Probably. Well, we have. We get told. There's a little machine here that tells us who's supposed to be coming on. Here's Gruder, bending the ball beautifully out to the right-hand side with the outside of his boot. He's picked up by Minte, who runs into the box, feeds it into Vifa, who's gone the underlap. He's gone down. Referee Andy Madley says no penalty. Fabian Hertzler is furious. Minte is furious. He runs up and charges into the face of the referee, who puts his finger to his ear and says, I will take it under advisement. He's now stopping the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's a foul. Oh no, come on. Just to be fair, I was at Brentford Fulham the other day, and there was a foul. There was a penalty given for a lot less than that, and it looks like the check's been complete already, and the subs are now coming.
So it's going to be Gruder who comes off, and on comes O'Reilly, and then I think it's going to be Yassine Ayari who is replaced by Diego Gomez. Gruder's done brilliantly, set up the first goal, and Ayari scored the first goal. He's coming off as well. O'Reilly and Gomez are both on.
Just see Gruder there say to his manager, his calf. I think that's what they were sending the players back and forth, because they didn't know whether to take him off or not, but it looks like he was suggesting that he's got a bit of an issue with his calf.
Gotcha. Goal kick for Liverpool, away to our left. 2-2, finally poised, and 16 and a half minutes still to play on TalkSport. Gravenberch gets it back to Alisson, who sweeps it out to the far left-hand side. It bounces over the head of Luis Diaz and goes straight out of play. And the Colombian gives away a throw-in, gives possession back to Brighton, who are coming on strong in this second half. Been much better in the second half than they were in that skittish first 45 minutes. Ball by Vifa, out towards the near touchline. Matoma almost took it past Bradley, and Bradley then reacted. He's given it away. Estepinian in towards Diego Gomez. Gomez now moving forward, looking for an outlet. He wants to get it out wide. Instead, he's gone centrally. It's taken on by O'Reilly. Didn't have the strength to hold on to it, and shielded away from Gravenberch. It's cleared by Bradley and then picked up by Webster, who nudges it forward. Chested down by Matoma. Matoma starts to move out towards the left-hand side and then come back in on his right foot. He's about 70 yards outside the penalty area, then lays it back to Estepinian. Kept possession well there, did Kara Matoma, and then Van Hecker is asking a lot of him to keep it in, but he does keep it in with a balletic spring into the air, brings it down with the outside of his boot, and then continues to play. Estepinian down the left on towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly's cross pobbles into the air. It's still alive. O'Reilly then heads it in towards Welbeck. Welbeck keeps it moving, but Diaz will bring it clear, and then Minte shows an amazing turn of pace to get over and win the ball over on the far side. I mean, that's the fastest I think I've ever seen a player move.
It'd be nice if he did it attacking wise, if he'd get a goal there. It's unbelievable play, but can we just go back to that touch from Matoma? Again, he's been on for 10 minutes now, and he showed a level of class of both players. Unbelievable. Ball out was zinged out, going out of play. He just jumps, pirouettes and pulls it out of the sky. Unbelievable touch.
Going to be a change here for Liverpool. Wataru Endo is about to come on. Well, let's try and shore things up a little bit. 2-2 with 15 minutes to play.
What's it doing?
A little bit of a mistake there by Webster, and the ball has gone out towards the right-hand side. It's picked up by Salah. Salah is taking on Belieber, gets into the penalty area. Belieber just nudged him off. Strength from Belieber, and he had the intelligence to actually deal with it and know what was happening, and the ball's been played in behind Bradley for Matoma, but out comes Alisson, who read it superbly and tidied up, because they wanted to stop the game because Elliott had gone down and the referee had allowed things to continue. And Liverpool now charging forward with Gravenberch into Salah on the edge of the D, sends it towards the left hand side, and Luis Diaz is inside the box now trying to send it on towards Jones. Lovely little underlap, and then it's Darwin Nunez who just can't get hold of it, and it's cleared away. And that's a bit of a short ball by Danny Welbeck, and it's given away, and then he's gone right out towards this near side, made a challenge to put the ball out of play, and Troy enjoyed that. You can take credit for teaching him that bit.
No, do you know what it is? It's when Kanate, obviously, every time he touches the ball, the Liverpool fans make that big noise, don't they? Because he's obviously a strong football player, but as soon as he goes into it, you just saw Danny Welbeck's eyes light up and go, you're getting it. And it's a great tackle, but it's good to see two top pros going in a fair tackle and no issues.
Bradley for Endo is the change. Elliott has come over to the near touchline. He's had something taped up. He's had a little swizz of a Lucozade bottle, and they have a throw in on this near side.
Are we suggesting that little bit of tape that he had put on his wrist has now cured him?
Totally.
Okay.
Never used a bit of magic tape?
It's another conversation for another day, that, mate.
Moving on is Luis Diaz bending across towards the far post. Estepinian manages to head it clear. It drops down into the path of Salah. Salah tries to curl it towards the far post. It goes out of play. I pulled out of that game at Fratton Park because I pulled my hamstring. And I went to the physio and I got some tape, some of that tape that you have to put round it to hold it in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And did you play?
No.
So it's just a waste of tape?
No, the tape came afterwards. I've been running, getting back onto it. I'll be fit for the next one in a year's time. Ball cleared away, up over the halfway line, headed down and away by Matoma. Lovely, brilliant rise by him and nudges it into the path of Welbeck. Back to Matoma left side. He tries to take on Endo. Bends a beautiful ball in towards O'Reilly, who tried to flick it beyond the goalkeeper. It didn't quite work, and then Minte is offside. I mean, that was an unbelievable ball from Kaoru Matoma, with the outside of his boot, bending it between two Liverpool defenders, and it was through the eye of a needle, really.
It's a wonderful ball. Again, man of the match for me already. He's come on, it's just offside. But again, for O'Reilly, he just tries to flick it. Just score with your left foot. So try a little flick to make it look nice. Just make sure you score the goal. Doesn't matter anyway because it's offside, but really good play from Matoma yet again.
You're listening to Brighton 2, Liverpool 2 on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car making a big move or planning a clear out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, they've got a van. We've got live football for you tomorrow night. Manchester City against Bournemouth, Crystal Palace against Wolves at the same time on Talk Sport 2. Sheffield United, Sunderland live in the Championship playoff final. What a game that is. It's live on Talk Sport this Saturday. Sunday we've got Leyton Orient, Charlton and the final day of the season. Walsall, Wimbledon, the League 2 playoff on Monday as well. And Lewis Dunk has come out and he's screamed for a change as Endo goes down the right side, produced a cross into the near post, took a little deflection, and Matoma getting back to help out his defence helped that into the arms of Verbruggen. Just wonder whether or not they are going to bring on young Harry Howe here for a debut. Was on the bench against Wolves, made a handful of appearances for the under-23s in the EFL Trophy and the National League Cup, and he's going to come on for Danny Welbeck. He's only 16 years of age. Must be in the middle of GCSEs, mustn't it? A lovely little touch by Minte down the right-hand side. Moves up towards the edge of the penalty area, and then it's handed off by Tsimikas, who did well actually, and then forced the ball into Quansah, who will manage to get it clear. Well, the end of the game is going to be a little bit spicy, I think. 10 minutes to go. Quansah's done a swashbuckling run up the pitch down the left-hand side in towards Luis Diaz, who picks it up on the edge of the penalty area. His shot is blocked by Viper, who's done very well at right back. He's not really a right back. And it's back with Diaz again. He then slows up, moves up towards O'Reilly, then looks to try and find someone who's in a bit more space than him. And it is going to be Harry Howe who comes on in the next few minutes, the youngster. Hinshelwood thinking about being called on as well. Harry Howe is stripped and ready for action. Hinshelwood is too. He moves out towards the edge of the technical area. Liverpool bring the ball forward. This is Talk Sport.
So you said Harry Howell is 16?
16.
As a father of a 16-year-old next week, my son's got a lot to answer for.
Ball sent in towards the far post, chested down by Diaz, centred towards Darwin Núñez. He didn't quite reach him and it was cleared away by Minte. Picked up by O'Reilly. Diego Gomez has got it now. He's got a bit of space to run into here, the Paraguayan, and Estepinian made a run, but they delayed passing him the ball. Into Matoma it goes instead via Welbeck, and then back to Adam Webster. 9 minutes to go. Hinshelwood for Minte, and Howe for Welbeck is going to be the change. Estepinian travelling forward into Welbeck. Welbeck once again trying to curl it out towards Minte. Just forced him a little bit wide. He will get hold of it down by the corner flag and then run along towards the goal line and try and get it into the box. Takes on Tsimikas, sets it back for Vifa, who's crossed into the box. He's only half cleared. Estepinian forcing his way in front of Salah to get there. Gives it to Welbeck, back out wide to Matoma. Matoma into the box, parried away, and then Gomez tried to throw himself at it, but it was going behind him and it ended up going out towards his near touchline. But Matoma has been a real danger since the moment he walked onto the grass.
Really good play again from Matoma, but I just feel that Minte can do so much more. I know he's coming off, but it feels like he's making him come off.
Here is Luis Diaz running forward for Liverpool, getting to the edge of the box, travelling almost along the length of the 18-yard line. Good stop by Diego Gomez, who did really well just to jump in and push the ball away there. Intervened at just the right time. Again, this has been an end-to-end match all the way through. Salah into the penalty area, trying to get his way through about 4 players, and eventually still managed to get a shot away. It went high and wide and over the top, but goes over the goal and away for a goal kick. Those changes now taking place. Howe and Hinshelwood on. A big moment this must be for the young 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Your debut is always normally comes in these type of situations towards the end of the season. Not a great deal to play for, but I'm pretty sure he'll be running around, and a real proud moment for him and his family.
Just 16 years of age and playing in the Premier League. Crikey, what an achievement. He's a big specimen, isn't he? He's a very tall and broad individual. He doesn't look like the frame of a 16-year-old.
Man, it looks like he's got a bit of a man's body, shall we say, for a young man. He's clearly in a situation now where they really rate him highly, so maybe he got his chance because João Pedro had the issue, so he couldn't be involved today. And these are how your careers are made. Go on and run around, hopefully get a chance, get your shot off if you can. But just look at Danny Welbeck, just giving him a little bit of encouragement into his ear. But I just think going back to Minter, Sam, really quickly, he needs to do so much more, because defensively he lets the team down. He's becoming a liability, and that's why he got brought off, because he was just looking across the line there, his manager was, as Liverpool were on the counter attack. He was still in the Liverpool defensive half. He was 40-30 yards out of the area he should be.
Lovely touch by Matoma into Hinshelwood, who's in the thick of the action. It's 3-on-2 here, and O'Reilly is away down the left-hand side. Howe trying to get into the penalty area, might come through to him. It's just behind him, cleared away by Liverpool. Back to Matoma, edge of the box, tries to get it onto his right foot. He's got O'Reilly down the left. He feeds O'Reilly. Low boys. Hinshelwood is there. Offside flag is up, and Hinshelwood is denied what could have been the winning goal 6 minutes before the end of the game. One of his first touches of the ball, he went charging towards the back post. Mitoma plays the ball down the left-hand side. Now, was he offside, Matt O'Reilly? It's very, very tight. Troy Deeney.
Yeah, I'm going to say, just off that first glance, we've said yes. Gerald Quansah just behind the line. Hopefully semi-automated. On that angle, it looks like he is onside. Gerald Quansah just a bit lethargic getting out. It's going to be really, really close, but
I think he's onside.
With that semi-automated, he could be all right. He should know in about 3 seconds, right?
Well, this is a massive moment in the context of Brighton's season, because if Hinshelwood's goal is allowed here, then Brighton have got a great chance of finishing in 8th position, and that could maybe, fingers crossed, toes crossed, and a bit of prayers being answered, be enough to get into the Conference League. They're waiting here, and that would suggest it's incredibly tight. The first angle we saw, we thought he's offside. The second angle we saw, he looked that he was as if he was onside. Having looked at it on that second angle, there will be hope amongst the Brighton players and the bench that they are going to be awarded a goal here. Andy Madley receiving instruction from Darren England, who is the VAR today, waiting to find out whether or not he is going to give the goal or not. We're all looking in his direction. It's taking a long time. Yesterday we had a 6-minute wait for a goal to be given. We've got a goal given here, and Brighton lead by 3-2. Hinshelwood runs away in celebration. He does the remix sign. Liverpool were on the beach last week, but Brighton just a few yards from the beach are partying now. Brighton 3, Liverpool 2.
Oh, you've just seen it. Jarrell Quansah, just his back heel is playing O'Reilly on. It's really tight. But actually, you know what? For as long as it took, fair play to semi-automated. I'll do you a favour, Sam, don't worry. We got there in the end. Lovely ball from O'Reilly, and Hinshelwood at their back post. Wonderful position. Everything that Minter hasn't done. Getting into that back post. A tap in from 6 yards. And we don't like it when you have to sit around and wait. But just listen to this place here. What a goal. What a moment for these Brighton fans.
Well, it's amazing for Brighton. Scored first at Anfield, didn't manage to get over the line, ended up losing that game. But Liverpool have given up 13 points from winning positions this season, and it could be that they're going to give up another 3 points here. The Seagulls have now scored 14 goals in the last 10 minutes of Premier League matches. That sort of endurance, resilience, resolve to get over the line might be what takes them into European competition. 3-2, they've come from behind on 2 occasions, 1-0 down, 2-1 down, but now they're 3-2 up going into the final 2.5 minutes. Troy Deeney.
Yeah, it's really good play. They've rode their luck a little bit. Just thinking back to that Salah chance when he's put it wide from 7 yards. That would have been 3-1 and killed the game. But they're just looking at Gerald Quansah as well, just for his development. When they play that back and you do a debrief tomorrow and you look at it, Sam, he's just got to get up. It's half a yard, it's a split second, but he's watching the game and he'll learn that more being behind Virgil van Dijk. But when you play the games, you've just got to keep yourself switched on. If he steps up half a second before, that's offside.
Ayari, Matoma and Hinshelwood all scoring, and you know what, Liverpool are famed for their goal scoring substitutes this season. They've been powered by those at times, but the substitutes have come on and made an impact here, and Fabian Herzler probably deserves a little bit of credit for that.
Absolutely. Again, he's only come on as a sub, but Matoma's been the best player on the pitch. He's come on at 60 minutes, tried to give him half an hour to get him back up to fitness. The quality that he showed has been fantastic, but the job's not done yet for Brighton. Still got to defend his corner.
Here is the corner kick to be taken on the near side by Elliott, down away to our right, in front of the Liverpool supporters who have travelled in their numbers, deep towards the far post. It might come through on the edge of the box to Salah. There's a bit of a scramble and a challenge on Darwin Núñez, but now a chance to escape, and Matoma has picked it up, and over on the right hand side Harry Howe is moving at pace, but Matoma is running at Jones. He's got Howe to his right hand side, Howe inside the penalty area, back across the face of goal, not going to reach Hinshelwood, and it's cleared away. But Brighton edging forward again, and Herzler just saying to his team, calm it down, don't get too excited, let's get it over the line here.
There's one thing that happens whenever a young player comes on the pitch and has an opportunity of scoring. Just looking down in front of us, every single one of the Brighton players, subs, bench, everyone was up because they just want this young man to succeed.
We've had 9 substitutes. We've had obviously 5 goals in the game, but 2 of them after half-time. We're going to get a hell of a lot of added time. 8 minutes we're hearing. Here is Diego Gomez, in towards Harry Howe, back towards O'Reilly, but he can't get it into his feet. It's cleared away by Endo. Estepinian stops it from reaching Salah, who's been very quiet at times in this game.
He still had the biggest chance of the game though for Liverpool, putting it wide.
8 minutes confirmed, added at the end of the 90, and the Brighton fans I don't think like that very much. 3-2 the score. They've got to try and hold on here. They have conceded 13 goals in the last 10 minutes of top flight matches as well. Only Southampton have conceded more late on, so as much as they've scored late goals, they've also been a little bit leaky in the same circumstances. They won't want to do that now, because the way the table stands as a result of those goals that have happened in the second half here is that Brighton 8th position, 58 points. They leave Brentford and Fulham and Bournemouth in the race for 8th place, and even if Bournemouth win tomorrow night, they can't get anywhere near Brighton. That means if Brighton win their final game of the season, they will finish 8th in the Premier League. Then it's all about what happens next, and they on the final day go to Tottenham Hotspur, who I think might have got something else on their mind this week. Here is Alisson out to the far side, picked up by Quansah. It keeps their season alive right to the very end, doesn't it? And I think if you had said that at the beginning of the season, on the final day of the campaign, you got a chance to fight for a European place, they would have taken that.
Oh, absolutely. But I think, like you said at the top of the show, having the players coming back from injury at this moment in time just gives them that belief rolling into next season. I don't care what anyone says. When you roll it in from winning and getting on a good run, you come in at pre-season with a belief that you can go on and do it again. And I just think that they had a difficult start to this year, a lot of changes, a lot of ups and downs with the manager and all this pressure on him. I think they'll be much better suited next year.
So by that regard, what do you think about Liverpool losing 5 of the last 10?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I know they got the job done and they have to enjoy themselves. The only difference you would say with Liverpool is they are making a lot of changes and seeing different people. You just look at that back line at the moment. Tsimikas, Kwanzaa, Konate and Endo. That's not a back four that you would normally see for Liverpool or expect to see at any point in a meaningful game. So I think you can say they're looking ahead to next season, but they maybe earned the right to just rest a few players, but they won't want to keep going at this rate.
Belieber has been spectacular in the middle of the park, chases down Diaz. Estepinian, who gives everybody a scare every time he's on the ball, but has brilliantly taken the ball away from Salah and then sent Brighton on the front foot. He's high up on this left-hand side, is Estepinian, the Ecuadorian. I know Ecuador is at high altitude, but he doesn't have to play as a left winger, does he?
No, I'm just watching the manager just screaming at him like, where are you going? You're trying to see the game out. We're in, we've got 5 minutes left, and he's trying to bomb on, and the manager say to him, they're best players behind you, by the way. Mohamed Salah, don't turn the ball over. This young man's been brilliant since he's come on.
Chasing down that right-hand side and causing Tsimikas a problem. Gets into the penalty area, tries to go beyond him, keeps it in just about. Does he know it went over the white line as he did a little flick-flap and went down the outside, got to the byline, tried to pull across the face of goal, but it just went over the right line, and it's away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Brighton 3, Liverpool 2.
But the confidence in a young man to do that, going at Tsimikas, not worried, shows him inside outside.
Given away by Konate, picked up by Matoma inside the penalty area, onto his right foot, tries to curl her towards the far corner. He's overhit that, and it's 2 yards over the top of the crossbar, but another chance for Brighton in a game of chances.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful game, but poor from Konate. Gets away from him nicely. He actually should do better there, Matoma. He's got to hit the target. But we'll give him a little bit of a break. He's had a good 30 minutes, hasn't he?
Do you know what? They didn't really cause enough problems inside Liverpool's penalty area in the first half. But in the second half, they've had a wonderful number of opportunities. If you go back over the course of the game, in total, we've had 41 shots on goal in this match.
Wow.
Of which 17 have been on target. 12 of them have come from Brighton.
I think they've been the better team over the two halves, just in terms of spells. I think they've been the better team. Liverpool have carried the bigger threat until Matoma came on.
Hinshelwood trying to flick the ball around the corner, but he didn't have any backup from Harry Howe. Alisson plays it out towards this near side, and we're up to 95 minutes now, and Gravenberch trying to turn away from Hinshelwood, looking to bring it clear. Brighton 3, Liverpool 2, live on TalkSport. And in the final analysis, this is all important for Brighton. It means nothing to Liverpool as it stands, because they've already won the league and they won't worry about this. And actually, Arne Slot said the narrative is going to be, if we lose the game, we've been on holiday, we've had a party, blah blah blah. He said, I don't care. The fact of the matter is, the players needed a rest. They get the rest because they don't get enough of it over the course of the season. He said it also will not be the reason that we lose the game, if we lose the game. But I know that's what you're going to say.
And that's fair. That's a fair comment. I think just looking down at Harry Howe is really interesting, because when you come on, you think you're fit, and you think you're fit and available, and as soon as you play your first game and run around for 10 minutes, and I've just seen him on his haunches, there's a moment in the game when you look up and go, I've been on 6 minutes.
Well, mistake by Estepinian. He sort of chested that ball into the air, and then Webster had to head it back to his goalkeeper because Salah was lurking.
He's a firecracker, isn't he, that fella? As a manager, you'd pull your hair out, just like, he clearly got quality, but he's just
Fabian Hurtzler is going absolutely crackers down this near touchline. He is a Champions League semi-finalist.
Yeah.
Ball sent over the top of the Liverpool defence. Riley's chasing it, but he's not going to have to keep it in because it's going to float out of play. It goes out for a throw-in. Again, Hurtzler, I think, wants a little bit more control, a bit of more game management. He's trying to get on the pitch himself here, and they've won the ball back, illegally so. Hinshelwood commits a foul.
Estepinian was at Watford as well, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I saw him for about 3.5 seconds.
I think he came into Watford, then was loaned out
to Villarreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that genuinely, I think I've seen him walk through one door and out the other one. That's how long he was in.
What did you teach him?
Clearly how to defend based on this.
Here is O'Reilly sending the ball back to Hinshelwood, who just tried to volley the ball forward, a sort of a very elegant volley. Oh, and he's pitched it now on halfway, and he's got the opportunity to break. This time, though, he is a little bit more sensible, gives the ball back to Howe, and Fabian Herzl is just pointing to the corner, saying, take it to the corner, hold on to it, delay, just wait, keep hold of the ball. Harry Howe does that, keeps possession for Brighton, who go back to the halfway line and now know that they can run the clock down because we played 97 minutes and 17 seconds. Herzl still, it's given to Estepinian, and he's ballooned the ball through the 18-yard box, and Herzl, I tell you what, Herzl's going on the pitch to give him a dressing down. He's absolutely furious, and Webster is giving him a rollicking as well.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That, again, spoke about it earlier on. You have a moment in the career where you're like, let's just show you who you are. There's not much on this for Brighton as the players, but for the club this is massive. And I guarantee you that sits with Herzl moving forward.
Brighton beat the champions, determined to be the best of the rest and maintain hope of a European adventure, thanks to Fabian Herzl's substitution, the influence of Kaoru Matoma, and a late goal given by semi-automated offside technology, scored by Jack Hinshelwood. Brighton and Hove Albion have taken down the best team in the land. There's still a lot of finger crossing and prayers to be answered, but Brighton go into the final day of the season knowing that their hope of returning to Europe is very much alive. 3 games without a win for the first time this season for the champions Liverpool, but who cares? The slot machine has already delivered the jackpot, but Brighton want to get involved on the European party. Brighton 3, Liverpool 2.